Hello, CEO teachers. Welcome back. Happy August. Man, am I glad to see August come. I hope that you had a wonderful summer. And if you're still enjoying a little bit of time off before the school year starts, I just wanted to remind you that it's okay to chill out and not have anything on the to-do list. There is absolutely nothing wrong with relaxing. And I don't know why it's taken me 36 years to figure that out, but I just wanted to be a little reminder in your ear that sometimes you just need to chill. You need to relax, enjoy these last few days of summer break before you get into the real challenge, which is the school year and running an online business as a teacher. Or if you're like some of our CEO teachers, it may be managing this side hustle thing as a full-time job for the very first time. I just wanted to say congratulations to any of our CEO teachers who have found their whatever freedom looks like to them, which could be working part-time, doing this side hustle full-time, or still being a classroom teacher, but making what they are worth. In today's episode, it really has a special place in my heart. It's something that I have developed over time. And as I'm coming out of the postpartum depression phase again, it seems like it's this vicious cycle. Having a baby girl, I think it lasted longer this time. She finally turned 2, and I feel this huge weight and these clouds lifted off my shoulders. But what I've learned over the last few years, the last decade, is that mental toughness is the key to success. So today, we're going to talk about what mental toughness is as a CEO teacher, as you begin to head back to school, and how to manage that stress when things get hard, because they undoubtedly will. Mental toughness is the drive and determination and willpower to keep going when the going gets tough. So stick around, you don't want to miss it. Successful people have fear, successful people have doubts, and successful people have worries. They just don't let these feelings stop them. I think in today's society, we are so easily captivated by the next shiny object, the next thing on social media, that we don't sit in our hurt, we don't sit in our fear, we don't sit in our worry. And so instead of finishing the job or instead of continuing to push through, we just jump to the next thing. I see this a lot in our CEO teachers. I see it in my children. I see it in the future of our children. It's that we don't really have to push through the hard times because we have something else that can catch our attention. But the reality is that success lies between those 2 points. Yes, there will always be another shiny object. There will always be something bigger and better. But simplifying and strategically figuring out what your next move is truly the name of the game. Mark Victor once said, "Don't wait until everything is just right. It will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, obstacles, and less than perfect conditions. So what? Get started now. With each step you take, you will grow stronger and stronger, more and more skilled, more and more self-confident, and more successful." I truly believe that I am in my confidence era. I feel like I could do anything my heart desires. I can make as much money as I want to make. I can be as strong as I want to be. I can be as fit as I want to be. I can be the happiest I want to be, but at what cost? I've learned to develop that mental toughness over time. And today I want to share with you how I've fell into this confidence. And I say that humbly. I don't mean that in a braggish way. I just feel like there is absolutely nothing that could stop this really snowball effect of excitement moving forward in our business, because I've developed the confidence over time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's something that you're going to need validation as you go to feel better and better and better. But as I think back to all of the mistakes and all of the hard times and all of the times where I was so stressed that my mouth would break out and I would not sleep at night, it's allowed me to develop this bulletproof confidence that I want to share with you today. Research shows that mental toughness can help to protect teachers from the stress of teaching. Mental toughness helps you tune out distractions and that negative self-talk. What I've gotten really good at is when that negative self-talk starts, because it will. You will have those moments where you're thinking about what other people are thinking of you, or you're thinking, maybe I'm not worthy of all of this, or maybe I'm not capable of being a full-time teacher and making additional income. What happens is that when that negative self-talk starts, I have another voice, that other angel on my shoulder that steps in and says, okay, we hear you, but we're not listening. And that is the key to mental toughness. Did you know that mental toughness measures your individual resilience and your confidence? According to one study, mental toughness is defined as those with a high sense of self-belief and an unshakable faith that they control their own destiny. These individuals can remain relatively unaffected by competition or adversity. Grit, or the perseverance and passion to achieve long-term goals, is a huge component in mental toughness, and the grit scale measures the extent to which individuals are able to maintain focus and interest and persevere in obtaining long-term goals. And then finally, for all my data nerds out there, mental toughness and mindset are not the same. Mental toughness is the set of tools or habits that you use to protect your mindset. That's so good. Let me repeat that. Mental toughness and mindset are not the same. Mental toughness is the set of tools or habits that you use to protect your mindset. I love that so much. Thinking back to what I said on the data about with a high sense of self-belief and an unshakable faith that they control their own destiny. I think that is so important. Now, here's the fine line if you're religious, if you're faith-led, that I think people get this misconstrued. I do believe that I control my own destiny with the help of God. So if you are conflicted about how this should be, I think that people get it mistaken and they think, oh, they think they are God. And I don't believe that at all. I believe that God has given us all the same equal power to control our own destiny if we listen to him and we follow his lead. And so with the help of God, I can control my own destiny. And I do believe that he gives me nods to say, this is when you are on the right track. And I'm going to give you an example of why I believe this to be true, especially as of lately. I've seen the working of this for the last 5 years or so. And it's gone from this can't just be a coincidence to, okay, God, I hear you loud and clear. And it started for me with signs in nature. I would go and have moments of quiet in our state park, and I would ask God for signs after listening to Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back. And I would see these signs over and over and over again. And then I was reading the Bible recap at the beginning of the year. I found that there was a verse in the Bible that actually says that you should listen to God in nature. And so I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like every time I ask God directly for a sign and I believe he's going to give it to me, I see it. I see it every single time. And I started laughing the other day because sometimes I forget, right? We forget that we have that power to control our own future. And I was having a conversation with my husband, and it was like a lengthy conversation. We stayed up late. We were hanging out. The kids were asleep, and we were talking about different people that I haven't seen in a while. And it was like this crazy web of like going back through life of when we first started dating. And anyways, long story short, too late. I went to the license office, the tag office the next day with my son, and I was going to get a new tag. And I'm sitting in the line and I see one of those people that we were chatting about. And so I say hello to her, and I was chatting about her family and how they've done such great things with their bakery when my husband and I were talking, and I saw her and I was like, wow, I haven't seen her in so long. And so we're sitting there talking. And then the next thing I noticed was about 10 minutes later is that the person directly in front of me is someone else we were chatting about, because I knew his children and they are the age of my children. And we got into a conversation about them. And then randomly in the conversation, I brought up an old student of mine that I loved, and I haven't seen them in like 5 years. And as I was walking out of the courthouse, that student walked in. You can't convince me that there were 3 different people in a conversation that have nothing related to any of them. They're literally a student, an old friend, and a dad of someone whose children go to school with my children. I saw all of them in one place at one time. 24 hours after I had that conversation. You can't convince me that that wasn't a nod from God for me to say, okay, whenever I think of things, with the help of God, they can become reality. You may think, Casey, you're too out there for me today, and I have to change the podcast. But if you're still here, thank you. Okay, mental toughness helps separate you and your ideas from other people in your niche. And it actually enables you to consistently perform at a higher level. Not only are those who have mental toughness resilient in the face of setbacks, but they stay relatable to their true audience, even in the face of judgment or dismissal. And man, have we been there before. Here are the 4 R's of mental toughness for CEO teachers that we live and breathe every single day. Number 1 is relatable. Do you have an internal code of ethics? Do you stand for what you believe in? Do you continue to share the good in the world? Can others see themselves in your story? I believe most people are good, but I know without a doubt that good will always prevail over evil. And I've seen it happen again and again. And I'm not responsible for the story that other people tell about me. All I am responsible for is treating people with kindness and goodness and not speaking ill about other people in the industry, in my life. If I ever get around friends that all they do is bash other people, I find other friends because there is always a group of people who will not talk about other people. You can find them. And that is where happiness lies. When I first got started, I'll admit I got caught up in the hierarchy of people in our industry, especially in the teacher world. But I found out that a lot of times that was where the dirtiest conversations were living. And so for me, I had to remember I'm not responsible for the story that other people tell about me. That says more about them than it does about me. I am only responsible for who I am, who our company is, and who our company hires. And I am so proud to say that I have found good in the world, that we never jump on a call and talk about people, ever. We never jump on a coaching call, and you actually can't bring up other people in our industry at all because we don't want that negativity in our life. You have to be relatable and make sure you have an internal code of ethics. Our number one core value here at Team CEO Teacher is be a good human, be good to all people. So the first R in mental toughness is to be relatable. When I was in my last year of teaching, I had someone directly tell me, Casey, you know no one likes you here. And I started laughing and I was like, really? I hate that. Man, that makes me kind of sad. I was very aware that people did not like me, but I had never had anyone have the guts to just tell me that, right? To say, Casey, you know no one likes you here. And I thought, I needed to hear that because that doesn't matter to me. I have my family. I have this dream of leaving the classroom. And at that time, I had already put in my resignation. And those people didn't matter for my mental toughness as I was moving forward. If I let the fact that no one likes me here change my mission, I wouldn't have been able to help the people that I have helped now. So number one, be relatable. Number two, be responsive. Are you taking action when action is needed? And do you not get stuck in the procrastination paralysis? Are you able to react and act in an appropriate way to challenges as they come? This takes time. I do believe that 75 Hard enabled me to feel all the feels and to be a little bit more responsive. And that also leads into our third R of mental toughness, which is resiliency. You can find ways to pivot always. You must be resilient. Dust off the negative energy and just keep going. We are all created of energy. And if you allow more bad to show up than good, it will respond in every avenue of your life. Have you ever heard someone say, when it rains, it pours? Yeah, when you start thinking of it that way and you think, man, nothing else can go wrong, boom, something else goes wrong. But what if instead you said, man, that was some bad luck, I'm going to move on to something else. All right, and finally, number 4 in the 4 R's of mental toughness is risky. Are you able to strategize and actually grow your business through risk assessment or the likelihood of certain events causing issues in your business, like a summer slump in sales? It's going to happen. So prepare to be risky whenever things get tough. Now, here are 5 ways to stay mentally tough when building your teacher business. First, build positive and healthy habits in and out of your business. I've talked about keystone habits so much that you probably roll your eyes when I say it, but it's amazing how keystone habits infiltrate every single part of your life. Health and wellness play a crucial role in learning to build habits. If you haven't listened to Brendon Burchard's High Performance Habits, it's amazing when it talks about successful people and how they eat well and exercise, and it usually goes hand in hand, and that is not a coincidence either. I have never met a green space or a bit of sunshine that couldn't break me out of a creative funk, and I have never been to a gym and worked out when at the end of the workout I didn't say, darn, I'm so glad I did that. And of course, make sure that you drink your water, stay hydrated, because it is the foundation of a multitude of healthy habits. I'm obsessed with BCAAs right now, which are branched chain amino acids. I'm not going to get that nerdy on you right now, but I feel so much more hydrated. I drink water, yes, but I also drink a big jug of BCAAs every single day. And then I also love LMNT packets, which are these like really salty sodium-based packets that you should take. And I feel more hydrated than ever before. It's kind of like BioLite or Liquid IV, but better if you're an athlete. I'm not an athlete. If you're someone that works out, I trip out because CrossFit people call each other athletes, and I'm like, I'm really not an athlete. But strive for consistency, especially when we get started. We want to do all the things, and sometimes all the things don't allow us to be consistent. Find a way to show up just on one platform in your teacher business in an authentic way regularly, and then add more platforms as you are able to grow. Find one day that you can take action on your business each week, and then increase to 2 days, especially if you're teaching full time. Next is focus on your own individual strengths. We like to say that we want you to find your teacher magic and then lean into that. Your strengths, my friend, are yours alone, and they could look different to someone else, but you need your secret sauce. And there is more than one way to teach reading or writing or math or social studies. And there is more than one way to apply what you are learning to help others understand those concepts as well. I tell my students all the time, there is room for everyone on the playground, and the world has never seen you do it. So you may think the market is oversaturated, but my friend, it is not. Next is let's embrace new challenges. This one is so important. When learning to create your own teacher business, there will be periods of struggle. There will be a lot of periods of struggle and heartache, but SEO can be the best way to have a really firm foundation that helps you understand how you're going to move forward. Plus, you may not be the best at web design or understand how to graphic design, and those could be a deterrent. You may feel like you're getting beat up about it, but when you tackle each of the new concepts that come up and you look at them as a learning opportunity, you are beginning to gain that mental toughness all along the way. And finally, and most importantly, is believe in yourself. When I read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, and heard the phrase definiteness of purpose for the first time, I knew that that was the piece that I had been missing. I spoke to one of my sons the other day about the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And although I didn't use the term definiteness of purpose, I gave some examples about Tiger Woods. I said, think about his success. Think about how great he has been at golf. And he's had moments of weakness, but how he has come back and really been able to prove that golf is his thing. Tiger Woods knew golf was his thing at the age of 3. And Tiger Woods fell into that and really honed in his skill and his craft. The problem is that people want to do too many things. And although you may not know what your definiteness of purpose is, when you find it, you have to go all in. Definiteness of purpose is something you must create for yourself. No one else can really create it for you, and it doesn't create itself. That is what I want to challenge you to embrace. Your purpose, so that you can believe in what you are sharing and show up authentically in the online educational space. Share your magic and help others be the best version of themselves too. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode, all about mental toughness as a CEO teacher. Be sure to reach out on Instagram and let me know what you are implementing this back to school season, and I cannot wait to hear from you. As always, remember, the best is yet to come. I'll see you right here next Wednesday, same time, same place. Have a great week, friends. Bye.